The James Conrad line Detour has quickly become my favorite MVP mid-range. When it comes to MVP and Axiom lineup, they have so many good putters that I feel like a lot of people tend to sleep on their mid-range lineup. Today, I have a Neutron Detour. I have the new Glow Detour. So we're going to get a nice and crisp look how the difference in flight is from the Neutron to the Glow. And then I do also have one of my old Lizotl hexes to compare it to as well. I feel like a lot of people throw the hex. People see Simon throw the hex. They see Simon just put it up in the air and watch it turn for days. This is the people's hex. Simon gets this to fly one way, but we get it to fly a completely different way. I actually find this guy to be quite stable and a lot more stable than I was expecting it to be when I originally got it. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the Detour is the people's hex. This is a new Detour stamp. It's a Disc Golf Deals USA exclusive, and we can now discount MVP and Axiom products over at the site. This is on like 12 different molds, so I'll put that up on the screen so you guys can go check those out. And again, now we can discount MVP and Axiom products. You can actually go and save money on them as well. So click the link to visit my storefront, but let's see how these guys fly. This is the Neutron Detour first. Wow, that was really pushy. Very, very glidey. This is the Tour of Terror version. Pretty similar flight. And then this is what I'm really curious to see. I haven't thrown this Lizotl in at least a year. So I'm super curious to see how this is flying for me these days. Definitely quite a bit more stable than the Detour. Let's go gather everything up. I'm going to throw them a bunch more times out here today. And you guys have been stellar over the last few videos. You guys are hitting the like button. You guys are letting me know in the comments what you think of the videos. That's going to help me bring you guys better content. And then hitting that like button is going to help this video and all my other videos get shown to new people. As someone who makes videos about a niche sport like disc golf, it's not always an easy task to get new viewers to come and check out your videos. So I do my best to bring you guys high quality, high value, informative content. And as long as you guys are hitting the like button and letting me know what you think about the videos, we can have a nice synergistic relationship where I'm giving you guys the high quality content you're looking for, and then my videos can reach new viewers and hopefully provide them with value as well. And I'll be totally transparent with you guys. The Conrad line, after a couple of releases, I was really just readying myself for disappointment. I really didn't like the Nomad, didn't do it for me as a putter, didn't do it for me as a thrower. And then the Zenith came out. I really didn't like that driver as well. Too flat, too stable, not a true like Wraith type distance driver. But now that we have the Trail and we have the Detour, these are two discs that have risen to the top of the MVP lineup. And I feel like anybody that's throwing MVP discs, you're making a big mistake if you're not bagging the Trail and the Detour, because it just bridges the gaps between so many of their molds. They just have that flip and forward push that you're looking for out on the course. Let's throw everything in the same order here. We'll go with the Neutron Detour, the Glow Detour, and then ye old Lizotl. I'm gonna try and power up a touch more here, a little more wrist action. Turning all the way through the flight. Hopefully we can find that. I went right under the bridge. Try and put it on a similar angle. This is the Glow. Turning all the way, honestly, just a better throw across the board. I'll try and do my best same angle with ye old Simon Lizotl. And if you want to throw the hex like Simon, you need to throw a lot harder than I do, and probably a lot harder than you do. So just go get yourself a Detour and save yourself the headache. That's my advice to you guys. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will be throwing this disc, not only for those turnover lines, but also those just like crispy stand-up hyzer flips. So let's put them out up in the air with a little bit of hyzer and see what kind of flight characteristic we get. Slight hyzer up in the air. Stand up to straight with a nice fade. So not standing all the way up and turning, which I do like. So it's not going to be super understable like a paradox. It's just going to be good. Powered up on that one a bit more. Historically for me, it does seem like the Glow Detour is actually a hair more stable. But this Lazat Hex, I'm not going to get that same stand up. It's quite a bit more stable than the Detour. All right, I threw that one pretty well, actually. Got a hold of it. Got a little bit of stand up, but then getting a full fade and a small skip at the end. Let's go throw these guys a few more times, see if we can get some other interesting shot shapes. And I have historically been able to get more distance out of the Detour than I can the Hex, especially this Eclipse Detour. I really do think it does get a little bit more flip. So I have been throwing the Eclipse farther than my neutrons. We have the Hex on the right and the Detour on the left. Not too many discernible differences, honestly, between the two discs. And if you like the feel of one, you're going to like the feel of the other. All right, let's get a couple more throws in here. We're gonna continue to throw them in the same order. This is the neutron Detour first. I'm gonna start throwing them a lot harder. Wow. That felt like decent form. That felt like a nice pull. I love the Detour for those just pushing, turning shots. And I also love it for those like stand-up pushing hyzers. So handy for both of those shots. And I have Lazatl. What a beauty. I think those Detours right out of the box just fly like that kind of seasoned fission hex. So if you have either a lightweight or a seasoned fission and you get that sort of stand up to straight, or as you're seeing that left to right moving shot on a backhand, that's what you're going to get out of the Detour. It just has such a similar feel in the hand, but you get such a nice 1-2 punch between the Hex and the Detour. I could honestly see myself, if committed to a full MVP bag, having these two discs in the bag as my two workhorse mids. Sort of that buzz type flight with the Hex, but then that Mako type flight with the Detour. Let's give everything 2 more throws, just hard and flat. I'm gonna pretty much try and go like full power here. Still working on my new form. Let's see how they fly with a nice, just flat, firm toss. I feel like that was probably my best pull of the day. That was bombed. And now I've got Eclipse, Detour, that elbow up. That thing goes so far. I think consistently goes farther than the neutron as long as they're on similar lines. Now we've got Hex. Give it a little more angle here. Didn't give it the ante I was looking for. It's still a nice firm toss, and it just really shows how stable the Hex actually can be when you don't throw as hard as Simon Lazat. It's funny. It's got a reputation of being so neutral, but I feel like those Lazatls are just pretty beefy. And before we throw them one last time, I just want to ask you guys one last time, please like the video. Again, that's going to help this video get shown to other people. And then let me know what sort of things you guys would like to see in future videos, or if you enjoyed this video, in the comment section down below. I've really been enjoying the interaction and the feedback. I've been doing my best to reply to essentially every comment that's come in. And it's been a lot of comments, and I'm really enjoying absorbing you guys' feedback and then taking those things into consideration when I'm out here filming in the future. Yeah, I'm just doing my best to bring you guys value. So I just want to remind you one more time, please hit the like button. I really appreciate you guys. I've been working on my backhand so much, I feel like I forget to forehand sometimes. So let's make sure we get a forehand in for those of you forehand enjoyers out there. Let me know in the comments below, do you guys actually forehand your neutral mids. I know I like to, depending on what neutral mid I have in the bag. But I feel like when it comes to, especially the Hex, it's really got that torque resistance for forehand shots. I actually don't superly know how this Detour is going to fly on a flick. Yeah. Not a disc I would forehand because I just don't want to take the risk of that sort of turn and burn happening, whether or not my form was good or not. There's plenty of discs out there that even if you mess up a little bit, that's never going to happen. That's why most of us forehanders out there like to lean on those more stable torque resistant discs. There's a Mothman. Needed one Detour to make the correction. That's a nice little 330, kind of dead straight missile. This one I feel a lot more confident on the forehand with. I feel like I can really power up on this Hex. Yeah. I mean, the Hex, those Lozado Hexes are just, I mean, they're stable. There's no other way to put it. I'm actually surprised every time I throw that Lozado how stable it actually is. So we're doing it here. We're starting this now. The Detour is officially the people's Hex. And if you've never checked one out, you can actually save money on one by using my storefront at the link in the description below over at Disc Golf Deals USA. That really cool Skullboy stamp. They've got, I think, 12 different molds. So again, I put those up on the screen earlier. So if you want that cool custom Skullboy stamp for you collectors out there, make sure you go get them because they will sell out fast. Use my storefront to save the most money. All orders over $50 ship for free. I'll see you guys in the next video. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and take care.